Hi, I'm Dylan Fernandes. I'm here on the Falmouth Village Green and just here to give a quick update with my friends at FCTV about what's going on at the legislature. But first, just want to say I hope you, your family, your loved ones are safe and doing well and you're healthy. And it's really important to remember to keep social distancing, keep wearing a mask, keep washing our hands, keep doing the things that are so important to do to stop the spread and prevent the spread of COVID. So thank you for all you're doing, and let's keep it going. So in the legislature, we've been taking up a number of pieces of legislation, but fundamental to our democracy, one of the most important things that we have, arguably our most important right, is the right to vote. And that comes under threat in times like these, times of COVID, where it's unsafe to coalesce in crowded areas. And so we passed legislation, really comprehensive legislation, bringing forward the first vote by mail program in Massachusetts history. And so starting last week, every registered voter in the state was mailed a ballot application for the primary election vote, and then in September you're going to be mailed another application for the for the November vote, the general election vote. And so once you fill out that application, you're going to receive a ballot in the mail. The postage is already paid. You can just mark your vote and send that right in. And so that allows people to make sure that they are exercising their most fundamental right at home and in a safe location. But we also know that some people need to go vote at the polls, and some people like to go vote at the polls. So we need to protect that as well. And so a couple of things we did. One is expanding early voting. So now in the primary, for the first time, you can vote up to a week before the primary election. And in the general, it's 2 weeks, which is really important, particularly because that includes 2 weekends, so that you'll be able to vote at a time where you don't have to be at work. And so I think that really frees up access to the polls. And then we put in safeguards in place to help our town clerks. We have a wonderful town clerk, Michael Palmer, here in Falmouth, on kind of being able to responsibly shape the voting area and take away kind of unnecessary redundancies, so that the people working at the polls are safe as well. So that's a really important piece. I was very proud to get it done, and we passed that into law. The governor signed it just last week. And there's a number of other issues going on at the State House. We go on for a while. One big one that we did just last week was on maternal health. There are incredible, profound, disturbing racial disparities in our maternal health system. If you are a black woman, you are 2 times more likely to die while giving birth during pregnancy than a white woman in Massachusetts. And elsewhere in the country, that figure is significantly higher. And so we need to get at those inequities in our healthcare system and our society more broadly. And so we passed legislation setting up a commission to study those disparities and come up with real solutions on how to address them. And in terms of racial justice moving forward, we've seen across the country people come together and protest brutality and inequality of Black Americans right here on Falmouth Village Green, where I am right now, and in village greens and places and cities throughout the country. More needs to be done to fulfill America's promise of everyone being created equal. And so we're taking up legislation coming up by the end of this month, by the end of July, that goes into disparities disparities experienced by the Black community. So we're going to pass comprehensive legislation that looks into systemic injustice, systemic racism in our public institutions. We're passing legislation around police reform. I think you're going to see legislation coming out on accountability. Right now, if you file a police complaint, a lot of times that goes back to the local police department. That's the place you complain to. And so there's no independent body right now where you can file a police complaint. We need to change that so that there are checks and balances in our system. And so there's also a number of other reforms coming out as well. I think different types of use of force are going to be more restricted, such as chokeholds and the like. But more to come on that as we take that up at the end of the month. Massachusetts was one of the hardest hit states in the nation when it comes to the COVID crisis. On some metrics, we're top 3 hit states in the country. But we've done an incredible job of stopping the spread of this disease, of lowering the curve, and really taking personal responsibility. That has been a huge driver of this. But we've also seen places that are hotspots, places that have cropped up, especially in elderly housing, especially in congregate housing, homeless shelters and the like, where people aren't able to distance like they should in this crisis. And so we need to make sure that if someone gets tested positive in one of these places, that we very rapidly address that. And so we passed legislation, a $1 billion bond bill to tackle COVID and to reimburse our communities for COVID costs. And as a part of that, I secured $300,000. And that is that's going to go towards a rapid response team in Barnstable County. Funds are specifically directed to Falmouth so that if there's a case in a nursing home, this rapid response team can quickly come in, make sure that everyone has the tests that they need and has the proper PPE that they need to stop the spread of the disease. Because we've seen that in congregate areas, it can spread really quickly. So making sure that we respond as quickly as we possibly can will go a long way to reducing the spread, and these funds will allow us to do that. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to listen. As always, I'm available at my email, dylan.fernandes@mahouse.gov, or just give me a call. I want to hear from you. If I can help in any way, let me know. That's really important to me as well. I have lost track of the amount of emails that we've gone through to help people get on unemployment assistance. They're in the hundreds at this point. That is really important to me, that you are getting the money that you are owed to stay afloat, to continue to be able to buy food, pay for shelter, have a happy, sustainable life. Making sure that you get those funds is really important to me in my office. So if that comes up, or someone experiencing not being able to get on unemployment, let us know and we can help you. And if any other issue comes up, just know that our office is here for you and we're happy to assist. So give us a call, be well, be safe, and have a great summer.